But describe for me what these past few days have been like for you. How are you handling this pressure?
You know, it's my faith is strong, and I have to be, I'm resolved. I have done nothing wrong. This is an attack. It's a coup that has been in place for a while by the county executives and the Board of Supervisors. I understand that Mr. Callaghy already has somebody ready to go on the sidelines that he asked, even a chief within San Mateo, the county of San Mateo, a police chief, to see if he'd be interested in being the sheriff.
And I'm going to be jumping around a lot, obviously.
Sure.
There's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about that phone call that you received from Noelia
Supervisor Corzo.
Corzo, right.
Hey there, it's me, Noelia, again. I just want you to know that, you know, I'm willing to talk with you today. After today, I won't be willing anymore. I really hope that you can do the right thing and step down and do that, not just for yourself, but for your family. Our community needs to make it out of this, Christina, and it's past the point of no return. So I really hope that you can do that and do the right thing before everything else starts, you know, going into action and subpoenas are issued. And I hope that you can really hear me. Okay. Well, I hope to hear back from you today. Take care.
I thought it was out of line to tell me that, you know, I need to resign, and if I don't, there'll be subpoenas being thrown my way. I would never expect that from a Board of Supervisor to an elected sheriff.
Are you saying that it was excessive, it was heavy-handed, or it was improper? What are you saying?
Saying it was improper, and I took it as threatening.
It seems almost kind of high school in a way, though. I'm not going to talk to you again if you don't call me right back.
Isn't this all seem high school? This report with the gossip, with he said, she said. It's undemocratic. It's unprofessional. They're trying to crucify me out there in the public eye and shadow all the great work that I've done. The crime rates are down at an all-time low. Our community engagement is substantial. The programs that I've created in our jails, we've become the de facto hospital, and I've created programs to help the mentally ill, to help individuals that suffer from drug addiction and alcohol addiction. I brought different types of classes. I brought a life coach for women that are incarcerated. I use my experience and the things that I saw when I worked in our jails and how people were treated, and I wanted to change, and that's why I ran for office, and that's why the people of San Mateo County elected me, because I represented change in an ingrained culture.
It's clear from reading the report that they initially weren't after you, they were after Victor, INJ, right?
Yes.
At some point, would it be good to cut him loose and to have a fresh start for you as sheriff?
You know, he is a trusted team member. If he were doing things that were wrong, things that violated policy, you know, that report is very scathing, makes it seem as he's, you know, that he tells me what to do. He runs my organization. He does not run my organization. You could ask other people that we have been where we don't agree on a lot, and I'm the sheriff and I make the final decisions, and I have the years of experience in this organization. So I would be the first to cut somebody loose if I felt that they weren't doing their job, or if they were doing something that was against policy or improper. But the county executive and the Board of Supervisors took his position away from me, which I don't know that it's ever been done before in the county's history.
Did the ATF actually come on Friday?
No.
Okay.
No, that was a vile rumor that was started by maybe some of the people that gave testimony. What I can tell you is that every one of my team members has family, and for them to do that, to have my 85-year-old mother call me crying and asking me if I was okay, is not okay. Every one of us has family, and for them to put that nasty rumor out that made it all the way to Sacramento.
About you being arrested.
Right, absolutely. I got phone calls from Sacramento asking if I was okay, and that there were news reporters that were calling the DOJ trying to confirm an arrest.
Were you ever contacted by the ATF last week?
No, never.
Have you read the entire report?
I've not gone through the entirety, but I've read a good amount of it, and I had to stop reading it at some point because I was just appalled by it.
I wanted to ask you what's your reaction to what you read?
Disgusted, appalled,
Why?
because most of the information that's in there is made up, false, unverified. They spoke to 40 people, some of whom don't work here and they're not currently employed, and some that are employed. A lot who are supporters of my predecessor. Some that have a axe to grind with me. Some that just don't want me here, don't think that I have I belong, I have a seat at the table. And when other members of the organization reached out to the retired judge, she turned them away. She would not speak to them.
Why not talk to Judge Cordell?
Well, I was contacted by email, and I was given 3 dates, and I was contacted on a Wednesday. I have Wednesday between 3 and 5, Thursday between 3 and 5, and Friday between 3 and 5. And that was it. Those were the dates that she was available for me.
And you were contacted that same week?
I think it might have been the same day. I'd have to go back and look at my email, but it was within a very short time frame.
And she wanted an answer right away?
Right away.
And why couldn't you give her an answer?
Because I'm the sheriff of this county. I have pre-planned events. I have, a large organization to run. I have to keep our community safe, and I wasn't available during those times, and I just didn't think that it was fair to just give me 3 time frames when I should be afforded at least a little bit more flexibility.
It's interesting to me that in the report, Cordell talks about speaking with 40 people, but boy, a lot of the entries come from one employee,
right.
Employee number 3 at the Millbrae substation, right, female employee. You want to give me any sort of reaction to what that one employee said? All the different things in this report?
It's just disgusting, not true. What I can tell you is that a prominent San Mateo County female attorney went to one of my captains and said that if I didn't give this person a promotion, then I was going to regret it.
She says that you told her in 2022, if Victor INJ ever leaves me, I don't know how I'll make it, I won't survive.
I've never said that, Dan. Never said that.
Didn't say those words.
Did not
just
say
made
it.
Up. She further says that in 2021 and 2022 that she frequently saw INJ rubbing your neck, shoulders, and feet in the Millbrae office. Was there physical contact in the office?
That's comical. No, not. Why, Dan? I've been dealing with people saying that the first day I stepped foot into the sheriff's office, the rumors started swirling that, if I sat next to you at the lunch table, then you and I would be having a relationship. Right. Whenever I've had a promotion, it's either because I'm a woman, because they have to check a box because I'm Hispanic, or, I must have slept with somebody in order to get the promotion. putting all of my dedication, my experience, my hard work aside.
She also says that she saw you and I&J sitting together on a couch in your office at the Millbury substation, giving each other a peck on the lips, kissing in your office.
I would never do that. That never happened. There was a couch, but many people sat on my couch.
And she goes on to talk about a week after the Millbury Art and Wine Festival in September 2021, on a Wednesday evening, she was on a Zoom call and could see that I&J and you were at his ranch house at the San Mateo County coastside. The two were feeding each other in an intimate fashion, touching and rubbing each other and playing footsie.
Yeah. Consistent with everything
Did that
else that she
happen?
said. No.
Have you spent any time at his ranch on the coast?
Yes, with my children. I brought my children, but other people were there with us. I don't have specific dates, but there were multiple people there. It wasn't just he and I. So, yes.
Okay, so you haven't been alone with him at his ranch
No.
on the coast?
No. There's always been somebody there.
The same person, employee number 3, was in the office. I&J said, quote, "We're practicing a lot to have kids." The civilian employee responded, "Gross, I don't want to hear this. Don't ever say anything like that to me again." And she says that you kind of chuckled, that she was annoyed with him saying that. Did that conversation happen?
I never, well, first of all, I'm not having a relationship. And secondly, I can't have children. And thirdly, that is just ridiculous.
Tell me about the Hawaii trip.
Yeah.
So you're going to Hawaii with, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 children.
And were you taking both to Hawaii?
Yes, for to meet other family members there.
Other family members. A former sworn officer was also happened to be at the airport, and he sees you and I&J. I&J is with your son, and they're boarding the plane together, correct?
Yes. So my son has special needs, and so he was helping me to seat my son, but Victor was not sitting with us. I was sitting with my children, and he was on the same plane. And Victor had a job. At the time he was doing executive protection, and we were on the same plane. And I went with my family to meet my family in Hawaii.
Did you stay in the same place with Victor?
No, I stayed with my brother.
Mm-hmm. Did you see Victor when you were in Hawaii?
At the airport, and we met for coffee one day, but that was it.
Were you on the plane with him coming home?
On the plane coming home, yes, we were on the same plane. Yes,
So you just happened to be on the same flight going out and coming back?
Well, you have to understand that when you have a special needs child, it's hard. And so he helped me.
So explain to me what Victor's actual title was. He was executive?
He was executive director
Of administration?
of administration,
Right.
and then / chief of staff.
If he's a civilian, why give him a badge?
Well, he is also a reserve, a level 1 reserve, but our crime lab director has a badge as well.
The report says that he has not kept up on the training and the volunteer hours that he needs to be a reserve deputy.
If you go back to our Facebook or Instagram page, you'll see where he is in uniform, and he is helping at parades or he's helping at community events. So he has actually, and you could look up his post on the Post website, it'll tell you everything.
So a bottom line on the report, Cordell writes, lies, secrecy, intimidation, retaliation, conflicts of interest, and abuses of authority are the hallmarks of the Corpus administration. Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel?
Appalled. I'm upset that they would write that. She did an investigation that was very one-sided. She didn't fact check. She took people's words for what they said. There were no one that was sworn under penalty under perjury when they provided their statement. Her interviews were not recorded.
She further says that you should step down and that Victor I&J's employment with the sheriff's office should be terminated. Will you step down?
I will not. I am resolved. I have worked very hard to get here. I know what I've done. I can hang my head up high. I am here for the residents of San Mateo County. I will continue to keep them safe and continue to support the sheriff's office and the organization.